Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Rama, and in today's video we'll be breaking into this week's deals and discounts for Grand Theft Auto Online. There's a lot of YouTubers saying that this week sucks. I mean, GTA Men made a whole video basically saying this is one of the worst weeks. Honestly, I disagree. I think this is a very good week. Not for money grinders. I have bad news. The only double money you'll be making this week is with Project Overthrow. If you're unfamiliar with what this is, honestly, I don't blame you because it's the Avenger missions that you can start inside the little touchscreen. Basically a waste of money, even though you can also get the upgrades 40% off this week to install on your Avenger. There's just no point to do Project Overthrow. With all the discounts you save, you'd still would have just made more money instead doing something like the Cayo Perico heist and the agency VIP mission, and then just spent that extra money on something else. So yeah, I can't really recommend to do Project Overthrow. I won't even be participating with it on my my new Broke to Millions account. It's just a flat waste of money. But while the money making this week is not very good, the discounted vehicles are absolutely S tier, and that is where this is actually a fantastic week. Now, first of all, let's talk about the discounted properties. We have 40% off the hangar and all upgrades. This is pretty good. If you don't own a hangar, I would highly recommend to do so. On my Broke to Millions account, I will probably be picking up a hangar this week because it's 40% off, and I obviously need to get some airplanes and jets in my hangar as it is, so that'll be really, really good. Not to mention, you are also going to be able to get 30% off the 50-car garage. I'm pretty sure it was like 50% off last week for Black Friday, so I don't know why you would buy it this week if you didn't buy it last week. That doesn't really make sense to me. That's kind of on you at this point, but yeah, if you don't own the Eclipse Boulevard garage, you can pick it up for 30% off, which is kind of nice. But now let's break into the good stuff, which are the discounts on our vehicles. A lot of supercars are actually discounted this week. So let's start off as usual with the free vehicles. We have the podium being the Dinka Sugoi. This is based off a Civic Type R, if I'm not mistaken. It is a front-wheel drive sports car, and it's honestly a fun car to drive. It's got decent handling and stats going for it, so if you get it for free, I definitely recommend to keep it and upgrade it. It's a fun car to mess around with, and it looks actually really nice for a Civic. But yeah, I think it's a nice looking car. Then we have the Postlude, and for some reason Rockstar said, let's make the Postlude a pain in the butt for somebody to get. You have to finish top 2, so first or second place, 4 days in a row. Huh? Like, if it was for a good car, sure, I understand. If this was for an open wheel car or something like that, yeah, I get it. But really, for a Postlude, one of the most mediocre cars that has some of the worst handling, okay, I'm very disappointed because I don't know if I'm even going to bother to get this on my Broke to Millions account. Either way, you can get it if you want to suffer. Now we move on to the good stuff, the discounted vehicles. We start off with the Garati Vision. This vehicle is normally $2.2 million, which is pretty expensive, but this week you can get it for $1.6 million. In terms of performance, it's pretty average. It's more the looks of this vehicle that are really cool. I think that this is one of the coolest looking supercars in the game. I mean, it's got a decent amount of customization, and yeah, it really does look unique. The interior, though, is pretty mediocre, I will say that. It looks like any other car, the Viseris or the T20 on the interior. But yeah, very, very fun car to drive, great customization on the exterior, and it's not bad. It's pretty middle of the road in terms of performance. But that doesn't mean it's bad, it just doesn't mean it's very good. But it'll still have pretty good handling, it'll still have decent acceleration, all the things that you'd want for a supercar. So I can't really complain, it's just nothing insane. And somebody took our parking spot. Bruh. Either way, I can't say that this is fully worth it, but if you don't own the vehicle, I would definitely recommend to pick it up. It's a nice car, it's fairly inexpensive this week, and it just looks so good with the customization. Now we break into a vehicle that if you don't own, I would highly recommend to pick up. If you play on next generation console, you can turn the Princip Devastate into an HSW, and it will make it the fastest supercar in the entirety of Grand Theft Auto Online, which is pretty insane, over 150 miles per hour. Not only can this vehicle get an HSW upgrade and make it basically an absolute speed demon, but it also has some of the best handling, which is just a little insane. Not only that, but even if you're playing on PC like me, this is still going to be one of the fastest cars, reaching the 6th fastest top speed at 132 miles per hour and the 10th best lap time. So it's just an absolutely really good car if you play on PC, and I would recommend to pick it up. It's also not a normally expensive vehicle as it is at 1.8 mil. You can get it for 1.2 million this week. Also, if you're wondering why I keep looking off to my side, I have all the stats written down just so I don't forget. Now we break into a vehicle that I don't need to look at the stats for, apart from the price tag. This is the Annis 300R. It's normally $2 million. This week you can get it for 1.45 million. It's actually pretty good. When the Annis 300R came out, I complained that it was just a little bit too expensive compared to a lot of the other Amani Tech vehicles. It's not the fastest, doesn't have the best handling, and it really doesn't feature the best explosive resistance. But Rockstar has put it on discount this week, and because of that, I definitely say that this is a fantastic pickup. Being an Amani Tech vehicle obviously means that it features bolstered protection compared to even a lot of the normal armored vehicles. It can survive upwards of 10 rockets, which is actually pretty insane. Not only that, but it looks absolutely amazing. It's based off the Nissan Z, which is actually a sports car that I've been tempted a couple times to pick up in real life. So I would definitely say that this is a fantastic looking vehicle. The fact that it's an Amani Tech car is just an extra benefit. So if you were thinking of picking up this vehicle, I would highly recommend to do so. It's just such a cool looking vehicle. It's decent handling, and it'll get you to where you need to go without blowing up. So definitely a good pickup there. Then we arrive to the best deal of the bunch. This is the LM87. And for any of you that are unaware, the LM87 is one of the best supercars in all of GTA. This is one of the fastest. It has the 6th best lap time out of all the super categories, which is absolutely insane, and that is also adding an Xbox. The vehicle features just insane handling, and that's absolutely incredible. It also features really good lap time, and it features really good top speed, going in at 128.5 miles per hour, placing it in the top 10. Normally, the problem with the LM87 is the price tag, 2.9 million, but this week you can pick it up for 2 million. Yeah, it's still expensive, but to be fair, it's not that bad. You can earn that much money in about an hour of playing, and I'm going to be honest, this is highly worth the pickup. It is by far one of the best supercars in the game, and it'll check all the boxes. So yeah, just a really good supercar. Highly recommend to pick up. The Cyclone is a little bit on the opposite side of the scale. I mean, the Coil Cyclone 2, which is the HSW variant, incredible. So if you wanted to get the HSW upgrade and you weren't picking up this vehicle because it was a little too expensive, well, it is discounted. It is normally 1.9 million. You can pick it up for 1 million this week. That's actually pretty inexpensive, to be completely honest. I mean, it's still not super cheap, but that's pretty inexpensive for a supercar. The only problem I have with the base Cyclone is that it's not very fast, only at about 118 miles per hour, and it doesn't really feature good handling either. It's just not that good, and it's very disappointing because the Rimac in real life is, you know, one of the fastest vehicle ever. Almost murdered Richard Hammond off a cliff in the Swiss Alps or wherever he was. So yeah, it's a pretty cool car, I'm not gonna lie. I just don't love its handling, but very good customization on the interior. Rockstar did a good job there. The vehicle looks really good. It's got some decent liveries, so definitely a nice pickup for especially how cheap it is, but just not my cup of tea. We move over to the Viseris. This is just one of my favorite sports classics in the game. First of all, it sounds amazing. I mean, this is by far one of the best sounding sports classics. It actually features machine guns. They're pretty useless. They're not going to do much of anything, but they're there. So if you wanted front-mounted machine guns, you have them. The Viseris is one of the faster sports classics in the game, within the top 10, which is actually pretty solid. It also features decent handling. My favorite part about this car is just the looks and customization. I mean, look at the size of that wing! This thing does not look like a sports classics. It looks like a sports car, which is why I love it so much. And the engine, as I said, is just so nice sounding. The Viseris is normally $900,000, which is already pretty inexpensive. This week, you can pick it up for $500,000. I thought my recording stopped there for a second, so that's why there's a cut in the video. We now have 3 vehicles left. Let's start off with the Enough Stafford. I'm not going to even bother to enter it. It's pretty slow. It's pretty useless, to be completely honest. But it's a cool-looking car. If you like Rolls Royces, I mean, you can pick it up. It's normally $1.3 million. You can get it for $750,000. But let's move on to another decent chunk of vehicles. We have the Coquette D10. Now, the D10 features very mediocre handling. In fact, I'd probably say it's got one of the worst handling coefficients for the sports class. You can see just how loopy its handling is. It has terrible grip, but its base top speed is 130 miles per hour, which is incredibly fast. Not only that, but it has really good customization on the interior. It has really good exterior customization as well. Fantastic liveries going for it. So it's just a really nice car in general. Not only does this vehicle have super good customization and all these things going for it, but it also features a speed glitch. And basically, if you drive it down any highway, you can achieve speeds upwards of 160 miles per hour. If you don't believe me, you can test it yourself. I've made a whole video on it. This is one of the fastest cars in the game because of the glitch that it has, and you don't need to do anything to activate the glitch. You just need to drive. So it's a little stinky of a car. It's actually really fun. Normally, it comes in at the price tag of $1.5 million. You can pick it up for $900,000. That is super inexpensive. If you don't own a D10, I would recommend to pick it up. And we finish off with this, the Buffalo EVX. There's a lot of electric car haters out there, and you can hate all you want, but this is still a really good vehicle. First of all, it has an HSW upgrade option, and the HSW makes it the second fastest muscle car in all of GTA, in not only top speed, but lap time. So, yeah, it's pretty dang impressive in terms of the performance there. Not only does it have, and I have bad driving though, I guess, because I went right into a wall, but not only does it have good performance as HSW, it's also got really good performance without. Out of the 74 muscle cars available in the game, it is the 7th fastest in top speed and the 14th fastest in lap time. That's pretty impressive, especially again when you realize that this isn't even special, it's just an electric vehicle. It has Amani Tech upgrades. We can see that right on the side here, so if you shoot it with any explosive things, it's not going to instantly blow up on you. It's just a really nice car. Highly recommend to pick it up. Because it has those Amani Tech upgrades plus the HSW, it's easily the best Amani Tech vehicle, if not tied with the best Amani Tech vehicles in the game. So just a really, really good pickup. As I said, while this week may not have the best overall money making, it's pretty bad, let's be honest, the discounts are fantastic. So if you've been waiting and you've been saving up for some really, really good buys, I would highly recommend to get a lot of the cars here. I would say the Coquette D10, pick it up if you don't have it. I would say the Vision is pretty good if you don't have it. The Devastate, highly recommend to pick up. I would definitely recommend to pick up the EVX and as well the Annis 300R. And I would also say the LM87 and Viseris are massive pickups as well. So there's a crap ton of vehicles this week. There might be some people that are disappointed, but I am not one of them, as I'm going to start grinding and I'm going to hopefully be able to pick up some of these vehicles on my Broke to Billions account. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.